Hello there guys, this is 3DFX back in the action. Today we are going to talk a little bit about reference tracks, how reference tracks, your songs, it can be good, but it can also be maybe not so good. So the reason why I want to take this subject up is because I've heard many videos on YouTube that says that, okay, you need to reference everything. You need to, have your reference track, and then you need to, compare this to your own mix and whatever. In Bitwig, what you can do is, I have my Bitwig right over here. Let me just show you. I'm gonna minimize myself a little bit, so just for the sake of being, so you understand what I'm talking about. So if we go to Bitwig here, what I have is a little bit of a group where my track is, and then I have the reference track section over here. There's no reference track in. Let's say we activate the audio engine here, so we'll see if that works first. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go here, and here I have a reference track that I know it shouldn't be any problem with copyrights for. So I take this in. It's called Lewis Capaldi, Someone You Loved. And here you have my own little, what do you call it? My own little Turk. It's just a beat like that. What I want to say, guys, is if you set Bitwig up properly, if you hit tab, you can see the mixer right over here. And in Bitwig right over here, I have something I have set it up to use reference mixing. So what you can do, my friends, is like you can actually have both of these tracks played simultaneously at once, both like this. And then what you can do, so let's just take the part where it sings maybe. I'm going on during this time, I feel there's no one to save me. And now you can hear both tracks, right? But if I just wanna play a little bit of this track, or if I wanna play a little bit of my own track, so you can kind of crossfade them in between. I'm going on during this time, I feel there's no. I can do like this. I can go inside of here. I'm going on. So I hear only the track, my own track, and then I can hear how it mixes with the other. I'm going on during this time, I feel there's no one to save me. So it crossfades more and more of his track. I'm going on during this time, I feel there's no. Or it crossfades more into my own track. However, what I would personally advise you guys to do, you can do this is fine. But what I would personally want you to do instead is, instead of maybe wasting time comparing yourself like this, well, wasting, I don't know, but in my opinion it's a little bit of waste, because if you still need to go to a certain level in your own mixing with your own, you still have to work on your mixes, so you still have to produce tracks to get good. So I don't know if it's really that relevant to compare you to, well, if you want to reach a particular artist level or something, maybe. But for me, it's more like to get in the ballpark there. And to get in the ballpark there, I do not really feel I need referencing that much. But if you want to improve, and if you think this is a way to get you there faster, then by all means, reference mix. But like if you're like me, and you've heard a lot of tracks, and there's some tracks that just sound really good in your ears. Like, for example, for me, it's Daniel Kandi, his track Child. It's an uplifting trance track. I absolutely adore that track because it's so well mixed. And it's a couple of years old now, so it's still like, but by many, I think Daniel Kandi is one of the biggest names in the uplifting trance still, because he's really had some great songs, and he's a good artist, and there's many other, but Daniel Kandi for me has been something special, because I think just the way he, sometimes the way he separates the instruments in the mix, it's just something, and it sounds so lush, and it's very beautiful. there's many other artists like say RT and others that has been there, and like there's some old artists longer ago. Signum, super good back in the days, but yeah. So I'm just saying, like, what I will say, like, the reason I do not really feel reference mixing is, for me, is because you still have to work your way up. You still have to create track after track after track after track after track to become as good as Daniel Kandi, or to become as good as someone else. So, see, one of the best YouTubers I have seen to date in the trance area is this guy called Max Brayman. This credits go all out to this guy because he is totally serious about making trance music. He uses FL Studio, so if you guys use it, go watch him directly. If you're into trance, or maybe even if you aren't, because he is just so good at producing. And he, I asked him in the chat a while ago, and he said that, like, okay, so how often do you produce? And he told me, he said, I'm doing it every single day. Every single day. So, like, it's, for me, that was an eye-opener, because I kind of understood this guy has got to, be doing this for a long while, of course. But what is very, very important to become a great producer is maybe not always comparing yourself to others, but actually trying to get onto it and be really hardcore to yourself, and really, what do you call it? Like, honest with yourself. You have to keep pushing. It is super important. I've been doing, trance for, I guess, maybe more than 10 years now. I haven't even counted, but I think it's 15 years maybe, or music in general. But first it wasn't trance, and then after a couple of years I started producing a trance, because trance, I always thought it was so hard to produce, because there's, layer upon layer upon layer, and then there's all these effects and all these transitions, and everything has to be perfectly mixed, perfectly EQ'd, perfect volume, everything, So, but again, I say, like, to be a great producer, I think thinking the way that Max Brayman does is you have to work your butt off. That's what it is. There is no shortcut in becoming, like, a good artist. I don't think so, anyway. And instead of wasting time comparing yourself too much to other artists, try to make as much music as you can. Try to be inspired by good artists. That's fine too, but you don't really have to nitpick and to say, oh, that frequency needs to be here, or oh, that, whatever needs to be there, and be so picky about everything, because producing music won't really get you anywhere for quality. And in the beginning you think it's all about quality, but it's not. What it's really about is really trying to have, instead of quality, you have to think quantity. You have to do it, because it's like you're never gonna get to the level of these artists that you really want to become if you don't, push it. You have to push it. You have to, like, it's like going to the gym. You have to be able to, to be able to grow your muscles. You have to go to the gym very frequently. And for me, it took years before I finally realized this is something I had to do. I just thought, like, okay, let's do it 1 or 2 times a week or something. And still I'm not doing it every single day, because I'm just a little bit a home producer, just like maybe some of you guys. But it's like, if you want to grow, I would, give you the advice. You don't have to do it every single day maybe, but you need to find what works for you. And you need to be, you can't be too lazy. It's so easy in this world to be too lazy, and that's where it's going to get you nowhere. This world is getting more and more slacky. If you look at all the TikTok crap and everything, it's just going downhill. I mean, seriously. So start having goals. Start having, and don't make the goals too big, because when you create them too big, you fall and then you blame yourself for falling. That is stupid. It's stupid. It's not the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Create small stepstones, one by one, and count them. Okay, fix that. Okay, next, fix that. Okay, next, fix that. You know, that's because you are going to get proud that you actually fixed that first step. And number two, you're gonna get even prouder and even stronger the more and higher you go up the ladder. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit like a hierarchy in that sense, if you like to call it like that. But like you have to have some form of strategy to become a better artist. You can't just rely on fate, because that's what I've been doing. I don't know if I'm talking to you, but that's just something that coming from me anyway. I don't know if some of you guys actually this makes sense to you, but I really hope it does. Anyway, if there's someone musically interested. But like you have to, like, to grow and to be more professional, you have to kind of give more than what you may be expecting yourself. But you can still not have too high requirements, because if you do, you would just fall. So you kind of have to try to be realistic about your goals, and you kind of have to, need to set small goals that are easier to approach. And then once you reach these goals, give your pat on the shoulder and say, good work. Because no one else is going to do that. Because we live in a selfish world. And this, crap is just gonna, be like this. So this is just a little tips for me. I'm 3DFX. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Give me a like and comment the video. And I will talk to you whenever you have any questions or suggestions for this channel. Please talk back to me. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm 3DFX. Over and out.